Hello, beautiful being. I'm Trini. Welcome to In Her Dreams. Welcome to your reading. Delilah's saying hello. We hope you're doing well. I'm so grateful to be able to share with you the messages that are flowing in from Spirit for you. They've already been coming in. I want to take a moment. She just took a deep breath. And that's exactly what Spirit is bringing through for you. Just to breathe, to ground yourself through your breath. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. One more time. Very good. That's bringing in beautiful high vibrations, so that you're open to receive all of the goodness and the blessings that are coming in for you from Spirit with this message. Anxiety has been like resurfacing as an idea that's coming to me. I'm hearing that song, "It's my anxiety, keeps on watching me." I don't know the lyrics, but there are frequencies of anxiety, anxious thoughts, heaviness that have been around you. This is not something that originated inside of you. It originated outside of you. It's because of external forces. It's because of people, low vibe entities that have been around you in your space. You feel this because you vibe so differently. Okay, so I pulled this card. It's number 23. It says we're all mad here, but the tagline says everyone is a little different. You're a lot different from a lot of the people around you. Okay, and so what I'm getting with this is that someone has tried to make you feel like you are different, but in a very negative way. They've tried to make you feel like you don't fit, or like there's not room for you in whatever it is that they feel like is valuable, whether it's a friend group, whether it's some sort of relationship or some sort of connection. They've made you feel like you don't fit, and the truth is that you don't. It's because you vibe high and they don't. Okay? So that's what they don't want to reveal. What they have sent your way is just feelings of or actions that represent or symbolize something like criticism or rejection. In some sort of way, they've tried to act like they're pushing you away. But the truth is that behind the scenes, they are extremely obsessed with who you are. Okay? So while they've tried so hard not to seem like they've presented themselves to other people as not bothered, but that couldn't be further from the truth. And so when you see someone and they are presenting different personalities, they're wearing a mask, they don't reveal the true self that they have within. They're taking on attributes of other people, trying to mimic them. And that's what they've been trying to do with you, is mimic your energy. They can't. So they've tried to create some sort of feeling of difficulty for you, as if you don't fit in. But they want you to feel rejected, and they want you to feel afraid, and they want you to feel alone, because those are the things that they feel. That's how they feel. Okay, and they want you to feel that same way. They want you to be miserable. I feel like this is a situation with one particular being, but it has the same sort of vibe. You've picked up one with other people around you. This could be within your family. I am so sorry. I feel like for some of you, it's with people that you live in a building with. Like maybe they're in your home or in a very close space to you. For some of you, this is a situation regarding family that's spread out. For some of you, it's a community of neighbors. For some of you, it is a work environment. But there has been one particular entity that has been so horrid, so full of lies, and so obsessed with you. But they have tried to spread this energy to others. And so you've been picking up on it. And that's one reason why you may have been feeling anxious or just having thoughts of anxiety come to your mind. And you're like, what is going on? You're sensing the frequencies around you. Divine is saying to cleanse your space and to do this with intention each day in some simple way. You can burn incense. Let me bring this in. Ashe, we're getting that cleansing energy. You're burning incense. You may do bahor on a burner. You're opening your windows, allowing the fresh air to come in. You're playing mantras to create sound, to bring sound all throughout your home. Okay, to cleanse the energy. And you can also do this with your mind. You don't need any tools. It's great to have them because they support your intention. But you can do all of this with your mind when you get still and breathe like we did at the beginning of this video, and center yourself and visualize any negative energy that you are sensing. Just let it form into a ball around you and shoot it right back at the person that it came from. Okay? Because I feel like for a lot of you, you are very aware of whom this energy is being sent from. And so that gives you power. When you know who the opponent is, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier because a lot of people don't know who their enemy is. And that's something that just requires awareness, you know? The good thing is, if you don't know who your enemy is, but you still feel this negative energy, you can ask for the divine to bring discernment, okay? And to give you the guidance and the insight that you need for the awareness that you need in this situation. But you can send that energy and it grows, it grows, it grows as you're gathering that negative energy and sending it right back. You're doing return to sender. And then the really important thing, and you can hang with that visualization for a bit. It goes right back to that person. Okay? And you can go where you feel led with that vision, okay? Make sure that you also open up to protective energy from your ancestors, from your spirit allies, and that you express gratitude for that protection. Okay, so once you've cleared your energy, you always want to infuse it with something divine, something positive. It can be with love, always with protection, abundance, whatever it is that you want to bless your energy with, whatever frequencies, okay? So you are different for all the right reasons. There's someone who does not want you to feel like you are in alignment because they don't have the first clue as to how to get into alignment. Not because there's an intelligence issue. Okay, this is an intelligent being, but they don't have the capacity to be honest about who they are. Okay, so they put all this time and energy into sending you negativity, and I want you to know that that is creating a huge vortex in this person's life where they are emptying their energy, trying to create something in your world, trying to manifest something for you that would make them feel better, to see you fail. You know, that's what they want. I hate saying it because I love high vibes, but you know, that's not the only type of energy that there is. So this person is creating a huge sense of emptiness and chaos in their world because they are pouring all of their access to divinity. They're pouring all of their energy, okay, into what they want for you. And so you felt that energy, but what you felt is nothing in comparison to what this person is creating for themselves by trying to bring you down. Because in truth, everything that happens to you, you learn from it. And that's something that I can see over your entire lifetime. You've dedicated yourself to the path of learning and to expanding your awareness since birth. You came in here, there's a song that Anderson .Paak does, and he says, I came out my mama's with some tennis shoes on, or with some running shoes on, you know? Saying that as soon as he was born, he hit the ground running, and that's you with your wisdom and your spiritual nature, okay? There's a lot of karmic stuff here. There's a lot of past life energy here, but it's being cleared. You're breaking curses that, like multiple curses. Multiple curses you're breaking. Generational curses you're breaking. Okay. So I feel like this negative energy that's been in your zone that you have been aware of, it led to some sort of tower. It led to some sort of like breakdown of what your norm was. There was a huge change. For some of you, this felt like a loss. There's something that you felt like you lost because of someone else, okay? Divine says that this person does have evil intentions. Yes, they do. But what that means for you is that you are given the catalyst that you have needed in order to transform into your most beautiful, most powerful self. Okay? And it does always require some sort of painful experience in order to learn the big lessons. Okay? And pain almost always leads to change. Okay? It almost always leads to change. People who are okay with the pain and just put up with it and continue to stay in cycles that bring them incessant pain, they're not ready. They're not ready to transform it. And so it stays sort of sedentary until they are so ready to move on that they do. Okay. But you've been transforming bullshit into beauty ever since you came into this life. And I feel like for some of you, I see you in a family environment where you were truly the bright one. And I mean bright like the sun. You had life, you had vitality, you had access to success, easy access to divine energy. And they caused you pain. You were like, you know, how they refer to the scapegoat, who everybody abuses and blames and isolates and all of that. So Divine is saying that this recent situation that you've had, that you've been wanting so badly to move away from, to get away from, it's what you've been feeling for a lot of your life, for most of your life for some of you. You grew up, for many of you, you grew up feeling isolated and mistreated. So that's why, for many of you, the reason why this situation happened, there are many reasons, because this was not just about your evolution, it's about opportunities for other people to evolve as well. But the main reason why it's happened with you is to give you an opportunity to break the cycle of pain for you. Because there is going to come a time where you will experience, and it could be in a totally different environment, totally different relationship, totally different. But there will come a time when you are presented with some of that same energy or that same type of situation that happened here for this this loss that you suffered, the sadness that you've suffered. But it's not going to bother you. And I don't want that to scare you, like, oh, I can't go through this again. No, please don't tell me that. By the time you complete your transformation, you are going to be on such a high level with so much inner power that you're going to laugh at things that come to you that are similar to what happened to you before. Those types of situations are not going to bother you, and it's not even going to set you back at all. And then you're going to realize that you really did the damn thing. Okay, so after this tower though, I don't want to get like a little clarity on this tower. What was involved? What needs to be clarified about this tower? Okay, so there were secrets. There was, well, with the moon card, anxiety is coming through. So this tower that you went through, that you experienced, it could have very well led you to a place of like physical anxiety where you were very, very anxious. This is a really good book. I had some cups on it. But Dr. Tracy Marks, Why Am I So Anxious? It's a great book about managing the body and learning from that anxiety and seeing what it's telling you about your physical needs, about your emotional needs. Like, anxiety is a gift if you know how to receive the message that it's bringing you, okay? But this situation could have caused a lot of anxiety for you. There could be someone involved who's 50 or whose birthday is in May, the 5th month, okay? This could be Taurian energy that's involved here. Doesn't have to be. But there are a lot of hidden things here to some people, but in many ways you were seeing things in plain sight. There were also it's like I'm seeing strings attached, like sort of an entanglement of energies. And this could have been, it could have felt like something somewhat traumatic that you experienced, or very traumatic that you experienced from the past. And that involved a lot of your energy and your perspective on this recent experience. Okay, so there was like an awakening of pain here, a reawakening, because it reactivated pain that had been like sort of maybe forgotten or tucked away or pushed to the side, okay? And so this brought back memories for you, memories of situations that did cause pain and suffering for you. And so it definitely, you know, that's how we roll. We live now based on how we lived before and what we experienced before. Our past does affect us. Okay? I feel like that was a part of the deal here, was past trauma. And it is not just your past trauma though. Everybody involved in this situation, like all the main players, whether it was family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, lovers, okay? But everybody here carried themselves throughout this situation or handled things in this situation based on their past trauma, okay? Past hurt was affecting everybody. Okay, Divine says that this is not a tower that's like over and done. It's, you know, it's just traumatic still and there's no hope. No. It's over and done, but you're still able to learn from it, okay? As you're coming out of this negative cycle. But there is hope. And that's really important for you to maintain, is visions of hope in your mind for how you move forward with this situation. Okay? What's next? Divine says, what's done is done. What's next? Okay? There's a need to intentionally ask yourself, what's next? And this is not to push yourself into some sort of future moment, or, you know, it's not about like not having gratitude in your present moment. It's about giving yourself hope for the future, for what it looks like. And so Divine is saying to be very intentional about remaining high vibe as you envision your future. How do you want this situation to turn out? Divine is saying that your creative energy is really important at this time, but I feel like because with that you've got your Ace of Wands. So this Tower brought you to a place where you can create like no other. You can create things that you only hoped to be able to bring into existence before all of this transpired. You have access to so many more things and to so many more beautiful visions, okay? Because you've seen more. You've seen more, you've felt more, and you've gone to those places, those depths within your soul, searching for a solution to the pain. And in that search, you have discovered more of yourself. You've become more honest with who you are. You've become more comfortable with accepting who you are at all times. Not forcing yourself to be someone that you're not. You've explored the pain that you felt. Okay. So with this creative energy, that's what wants to come through you, and that's where you are now, where you have a huge opportunity to create from your soul, like from your true self. But there's a conflict here, and I feel like there's a concern over an interaction with someone else or with other people. Okay, because you've got Six of Cups in reverse there. All right. So the question is, what feelings do you have about sharing something that you've created with another being? Or with beings that you don't know. Maybe you're sharing on social media, you know? It can be scary. It can feel scary. And it can bring up feelings of anxiety, okay, with that Moon card there. It can bring up feelings of self-doubt. When you're sharing your creations with other people, it can really make you wonder if it's worth it to put yourself on the line to show your truth in order to do what you're called to do. Like, is it worth it? You might wonder sometimes, like, do I need to follow this calling? Is this necessary, or can I just kind of fall back? Some of you may be tired from overworking, tired from just feeling like you're doing too much and you're ready to just rest. Because anxiety causes your mind to work too hard, you know? So you might feel tired because you're asking so many questions about how can I be who I need to be? How can I create what I need to create, and how can I share that? And how can I be useful? And how can I be balanced? You know, you might be thinking about other things that you need to do as well, because, you know, creation is extremely important, but life is life. Okay? You might be busy outside of your creative endeavor. You might have other people who depend on you. Okay? But what Divine is telling you is that this Six of Cups energy is for you. And there is the gift of true acceptance of yourself just by having the courage to take the next step. Just by having the courage to do that next thing that you need to do to create. This is going to help dispel the negative energy that you have been feeling around you. By creating, it's almost like you're doing a spell. Every time you create something, or every time you work on something and get closer to your goal, you are using the heat of your creative passion, of your creative energy, that fire, to dispel negative forces. That yes, you are sensing that low vibe energy. Yes, you are sensing those evil intentions. But Divine is not going to allow anything to take you down when you are doing the work that you are here to do. And I know that you can think of examples where it's like you look at celebrities doing their divine work and then it's like something tragic happened. If I had felt that for you on your path, I would bring that through. I would let you know there's a tower that looks like this. And we might want to look at some other options of how to derail from that. But no, I'm not getting any sort of disastrous event happening to you with you doing what you are so passionate about doing, that is on your path of well-being, on your path of personal growth, of wellness, of connection, your divine work. Like, you're going to be rewarded for that. So with you having that Page of Wands, Divine is just saying, just be the page. Just do the next step. Just do something creative and allow it to be a message, to become a message. So like there needs to be some communication with this creative action that you're taking. It might be something that you jot down or that you record. I'm getting that as well. It's something that you're either recording or like you're documenting so that you can come back to that when you take your next step. All right. So like if you get a download of an idea for something that you want to create, don't just then go and run an errand and not jot it down. Like, jot it down. The messages that come to you for your creative inspiration, jot them down or record them some kind of way that works for you. But that's going to be really, really important and really helpful for you. And it brings about the Nine of Cups. It brings about the Nine of Cups. Divine, what comes along on this path for this Nine of Cups, this wish fulfillment? Yeah, you've got Six of Pentacles. This is sharing with others in a really meaningful way. Doing the things that you love to do. Doing the things that you're inspired to do. And letting this become a cycle where you are creating, documenting, sharing, receiving, reflecting, whatever it is that you need to do in your creative process, which that will come to you. Everybody's creative process is a little different. You might have to take times where you step away from communication just so you can focus on getting downloads, okay? You might need to take a break at some point in your creative process where you are just very adamant about letting yourself shut down and rest, sleep, whatever it is that you need to do to nurture your body. Okay, you've got really good really good communication here regarding like something that you're moving forward with. Okay? So once you take that step, Divine is going to make sure that your path is not always going to be easy, because of course nothing good was meant to be easy, right? I mean, humans have learned that by now. We know that. But we're not here to suffer. Okay, we're not here to suffer because we're here to learn how not to suffer. We know that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So This communication that's coming to you, it's for your benefit. It's for your growth. Divine is on your side. The universe is supporting you. And this is going to be positive communication as you move forward. And whatever obstacles you do come across, Divine is going to help you through that. Divine is going to support you through all of this. There was the Emperor. I don't know if you saw it when I held it up, but the Emperor was out there. So that's good, solid success. You're creating your empire. Okay? And what I'm seeing for you with your empire is contentment in all areas of life. You know, contentment is a huge gift. Being happy requires a whole lot of energy. You know, it's like, oh my God, like happiness is where you're super excited, your heart is racing a little, is, you know, it's a lot of energy. But contentment is like, yeah, I'm good. Like, it might not be perfect, but I'm content. I'm grateful and I'm content. Okay, so when a feeling of like, when you get a thought that you can't do something, when you feel yourself in this Eight of Swords energy, Divine is saying to see things from a different perspective. Okay, allow yourself to see things from a different perspective. Turn something upside down in your mind, like see things from a different point of view. I was washing the dishes the other day, and there was a short that came on TV, and it was The Simpsons. I love The Simpsons. But Mo, the bartender, I don't know if you watch The Simpsons, but if you do, Mo, the bartender, in this short, he was going on and on, having kind of like a pity party about having so much drama in his life and so much trauma and so many bad things happening to him. And he's going on and on complaining, and he says, so many bad things have happened to me, I don't even care anymore. He's like, it's gotten so bad, it can't get any worse. That is actually a gift. To come to that conclusion, it's like, how much longer do we have to live in fear of what might happen before we say, so much bad stuff has happened and I'm still here? With all that you've been through, because that came through early on in the reading with the past traumas that you suffered, Divine is letting you know that you don't have to suffer anymore. The pain may still be there, okay? But you don't have to suffer, because that's not what you deserve. You deserve to experience freedom and to give yourself the opportunity to move forward with creative inspiration, to allow yourself to visualize what's next, okay? And to know that that can expand, because we're not putting any limitations on the universe for what you're able to experience and manifest and create in this world. But it's a good place to start, okay? And it gets your mind off of what has happened, what you feel that you lost, which I can see that like there are things that you have really gained from this process. I feel like this tower, it brought you to a much more aware state, a much more awakened state. And you might carry along with you still some pain from what happened, some anger. But if you're open and willing to release those emotions, that's all that matters, okay? That's all that matters. Just be open to change. And as Divine brings you to more awareness of what you can do to let go, of what you can do to experience more peace, stick with that. Like, follow your intuition. Listen to what Divine is telling you, the ideas of how to breathe and ground yourself, how to regulate your emotions in a healthy way, and how to open up to the possibility of more peace. Sometimes you might find that your mind is just filled with thoughts that it's like all the worst case scenarios. And that's what you're transforming. I feel like that's what has already been happening on a very deep level. On a very deep level. Thank you, Divine. What else does this beautiful being need to know? You got goddess energy, okay? And if you identify as male, that's fine. You still got some goddess energy. This is also in your realm, you know? So you are attracting goddess energies, and that's one reason for that anxious feeling, because there's a whole shift that's going on, because there's been a whole lot of low vibe beings around you that have been trying to impact and influence your world in a negative way. But because you're ascending, you're attracting more of this goddess energy because you have that inside you. And so you're going to notice that the people that come into your zone, come into your space, more and more, they're going to be higher vibe. You're going to have more opportunities to connect with high vibe beings than in the past. Okay? Beautiful. All right, let me pull from the witching hour. Thank you, Divine. What does this beautiful being need to know? What message does this beautiful being need to know? We're gonna keep flipping. It's like, it felt like one fell. Thank you, Divine. The forest. Seeing the bigger picture. This is number 8. Divine says that something is being created in your world now, and it's built to last. This is about infinity. This is about never-ending energy, because energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? There's something that's being transformed, and it's going to last forever. Because you're building things that are multi-dimensional. So it's not just like the effort and energy that you put in and the work that you're doing. It's not only benefiting you here in this 3D. You're a multi-dimensional being, and your creations and your beauty and your abundance, it's increasing in all the realms. Every realm. Okay? You're seeing the bigger picture. You're not just realizing that, okay, yeah, I feel what I feel right now. I feel all this shitty energy around me. Damn, could I just get away? I know the feeling. But you're saying, I feel that. I sense that. But I am not that. And this is energy that I detect, but it's not inside me. It doesn't own me. You can say these things out loud or in your mind, you know, because you might be in a meeting when you're feeling this negativity. You might be anywhere. In a classroom. In a restaurant. Okay? You could be anywhere and detecting this negative energy. You can always affirm for yourself, I sense that energy. And it is very low vibe. I am not vibing with that frequency. I vibe higher. It can't touch me. Okay? So you can do that. You can do return to sender. You can do both. But you're seeing that there's more to this experience than what you thought before. And you've realized that with time. And that looks like a hawk to me. Okay? Or a falcon. But you have very expansive perspective and vision. Okay? Please don't forget that. Crossing the veil. So this is morning. Divine is saying that there's a need to release emotions over what has happened, what has transpired, what is now in the past. Okay? There may be a feeling of fear that you have about moving forward, because even though that toxic situation or that pain that was it was haunting you, and you're letting go of it, that pain did feel familiar. So sometimes you might feel like you don't know where to go next, because all you've known was pain. All you've known was trauma in certain aspects of your life or in certain relationships. Divine is saying that on your healing path, please be very intentional about creating positive, happy situations for yourself. And like for yourself alone, or for yourself with people that you love. So you can plan a workout, okay? If you're a parent, maybe you want to work out with your child or with your children. You can plan to go see a movie. You can plan to go take a walk. Something simple, you know? Something that doesn't even cost money. Ride to the beach. Spend a day at the beach. There's a need to be intentional about keeping your vibe high and creating positive experiences for yourself. That is going to help you distance yourself from the painful feelings that may have been causing some suffering for you. But you're in a new space. This is all about supporting yourself and receiving the support of the divine as you enter this new world. Okay? Because you have transformed so much and so beautifully. Okay? Alright, I want to read that one and then I'm going to close. Alright? So let's do the crossing the veil one, because death has been coming through a lot. Oh, you might be saying, I mean like death, like letting go, transformation, regeneration, right? Yeah, a lot of people fear death, but it's actually a very necessary frequency. We have to vibe with that in order to move forward. What's done is done, and we have to move forward. Okay, so you got 3-7 there. You might be seeing the number 3, 37, or 10. And this one was 8. Yeah, I mentioned that one. Strength. You have strength, okay? All right, 37. Let's see what we got. Okay, keywords are mourning, bittersweet endings, marking a passage, okay? The tarot companion here is 8 of Cups, so it's like walking away from something, creating distance between yourself and something else and being at peace with that. Even when you're moving on to something better, it can be hard to let go of things you've loved for a really long time. You might move into your dream home, but that doesn't mean you don't get to mourn the happy memories in the old house that has held you until now. You may celebrate your child moving out of the nest and finding their own way, but you still need time to work through such a dramatic change. And we are in that season of graduation, so you might be processing some feelings and emotions about your children growing up or going to the next stage, moving on to the next phase of their life, okay? And there may be some anxiety there as well, since anxiety came through in the beginning of the reading, okay? Yeah, a good message for your child came through in the last reading. Love is right in front of you, okay? There was a message that came through in that reading for a child that you might be worried about. So if that's the case, you might want to tune into that reading. It's really good. Very comforting, okay? This card represents that bittersweet moment when you know it's time for something good to come to an end, but you'll still miss what you had. And it may be something that was even, it came through as a trauma, but it felt comfortable to you because it was so familiar to you, okay? Often a failure to acknowledge grief may lead to doubt about the beautiful new path that is ahead of you. Crossing the veil has come to you because you may be questioning a decision out of fear that what you're getting may not be worth what you're giving up. This card is your confirmation to let go, but also to make space to process your grief. Where you are now has served its purpose. And yeah, let me read that again. Where you are now has served its purpose, and you are destined for more. You may consider performing a ceremony similar to a graduation to mark the transition from one way of being to the next, or create an altar space for a time to show your gratitude and appreciation for what was. Above all, trust that where you are headed right now will lead to many more happy memories. You are safe and you will be supported. Even if you do not know what comes next, know that you are held in security of spirit and that when you let go, something else will take its place. Ashe. Well, I love that message. Thank you, Divine. Oh, should I do a Lilith card? Okay, this is getting long. If you're still watching, thank you so much. So much love to you. So much love to you. All right, Mother Lilith, what are you bringing through? What message do you have for this beautiful being? The sun. See, sun keeps coming through. That came through in the last reading too. The sun, your soul's purpose. You are fulfilling your soul's purpose. Lilith says so. Okay. And this is also about freedom as you shine. Like Lilith is all about freedom and inner power. Okay, power over fear. And yeah, you have that freedom to shine. Allow yourself to do what you came here to do. Because you do it so beautifully. Please know that. You do things in a way that like nobody else can do what you do. The way that you do it. Okay? They can do a certain activity that you do or a certain type of craft or whatever, but they can't do it the way you do it. And that's where you shine, is how you do what you do. Okay? So keep doing it. Ashe, thank you so much, beautiful being, for joining me with this reading. I appreciate you so much. Please be sure to like, please be sure to comment. If there's somebody that you think would really benefit from this message, please share it. And you can check out my creations that I make to create more magic in your world, in your life, on my website that is linked below. I wish you peace, I wish you joy, and I wish you so many blessings. Take care.